This is huge. NMS community, you should be going wild. Next generation is here, and it's live, and we have the next gen consoles. Literally everyone has broken through the freaking veil. So what's going down, everyone? My name's Mac, you're the McGarver7 channel. Today we're going to be looking at 310 is what they call it directly on the website, but 311, which has come out for the majority of consoles. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's changed in No Man's Sky from Hello Gaming. One of the bigger portions of what this generational leap is for graphic enhancements, smoother portions on NMS, also continuing the story by transferring data, which is really freaking cool. They make it really simple. Bigger bases, bigger portions of playing with people, more players, faster warp speeds, and free for all existing players. Freaking sweet, right? Let's go ahead and continue. As you can see, where one of the graphical enhancements is what we're going to be getting towards a lot better in this situation. They can kind of get a roundabout player, and they can have a really cool scope, so you can see the Ultra versus the Enhanced. Personally, myself, Ultra is cool, but it seems to be way more contrasty, darker, lighter. So I would say probably in between those would probably be pretty sweet. Improvements are available on PlayStation 5, Xbox X, and all the players in the Ultra setting for PC. That's right. Richer bases and content for as far as what they'll be seeing for the next generation consoles. Larger, more complex. You can kind of see a little bit more what they're kind of getting now. Scrolling down, more newer creatures, which I thought. Journey continues. Streamless. Now, this is one of the ones that I thought I wanted to point out how easy this was. This is ridiculously cool. Check it out. You literally just go down, transfer over. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We can make some lemonade with that. Be a sweet thing of life. 32 players is what they kind of say. First time for all this kind of stuff. For exploring, all this other really just coming together for No Man's Sky. Groundbreaking. Seriously, compared to day one where it was like kind of nothing, this thing has definitely got. Now, crossplay is something that we're going to be getting into because there's so many consoles out there nowadays. But the Traverse now is on PlayStation 5, Xbox X, and Series S, can explore alongside the travelers on all platforms. So we finally have broken into a generation of crossplay. Pretty sweet, right? No Man's Sky, gotta love it. For most wondering what's coming in 4K at 60 FPS, a lot of compatible TVs will be getting a little bit more of that higher resolution. Now coming down with smoother on frames on all these consoles will also be doing this and matching that. Now the native of what you can do in the high quality is 30, or the high performance, which ends up being 60. You'll have to pick which one you want for that. That's not saying that the consoles are limited at that. That just means that at the very moment that No Man's Sky is putting their 4K right around that 30. That looks so cool. Now, PlayStation 5, the triggers inside the feedback, will be exploring new console sensors in the No Man's Sky for as far as what they will be doing for feedback, the kick of the multi-tool, and the satisfying clicks. So pretty neat that they're kind of going towards that. 3D audio inside of that situation will also be an increased accuracy and pinpoint throughout the universe because of this PlayStation revolution. They really seem to be driving PlayStation home really hardcore. But that's where they did start. The VR is something that's going to be kind of cool for the PS VR owners to continue the expansive exploration on No Man's Sky and the virtual reality in the backwards compatibility function on PlayStation 5. Now, the ultra visible is what you can kind of see what ends up happening for as far as where the light. And again, I personally, oh, that's weird. They literally picked a whole other. That's strange. Look at that. More, less, more, less, more, less, more, less, more, less. I feel like that's a bad example. They couldn't just take the same picture. Improve the warp inside of the speed up. Definitely excited to see that for as far as what we can do. 10 times faster, they say, in this console. That is pretty sweet, actually. Creative. See this in action. I don't know if we're gonna. Wow, okay, that is really freaking fast. Now, looking at the general support, what this can end up coming down to for as far as our patches and what comes into it. We've seen the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X for as far as what we can switch over. Visual enhancement, I kind of want to scroll over so you can guys and gals can kind of see what is going to be changing for as far as these situations. The render quality, the base complexity of the next generation console for the ultra setting, but a lot of the stuff we've already kind of hit. Some of the fixed issues, though, that I want to point out are right over down here, where we're going to kind of see what they've actually kind of fixed for as far as issues that cause water horizons. Also looking for the occasional grass and fell renders, butterflies for the far as the bellies, and the portions where they're not colored correctly, looking at the planetary portions of lighting, as well as the disappearing portions of camera in the photo mode, refreshed in the community images for as far as the model select on the screen, update on the haze and protection on the HUD, as well as the style in the portion of the mission selection of the notification marker. Stability also came into this, as we see the number of rendering crashes on the PlayStation 4 has now been patched over on this lovely thing. On top of the situation where we see the fixed issues that could cause a very large save in the fail on the PC systems, optimized terrain on the generation of Xbox One, and the introduction of a significant number of the performance and optimization of all platforms. Quality of life has definitely gotten a little bit more better for as far as the way we can kind of see for the space combat and the visual improvements. The camera shakiness for the hazardous when it has been reduced. The camera shakiness when shooting nearby an object also has been reduced. The hovering text that comes into the banner and the emblem and the appearance in the customizer. And PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, when adding the No Man's Sky friend who's playing on the same platform, players are now also presented with an option to add the PSN or Xbox friend. Kind of neat. Now, multiple fixes that comes down to it as we kind of clear this patch out of the way is the fixed rare blockers for some players in the older saves would be unable to progress in the Atlas path. The rare crashes with the multiplayer sessions could fail on the resumption and the resuming portion of what ends up happening correctly for after suspending some of the games on Xbox One. Issues that also came to the black origin, a blank galactic map. It's blank. It just goes literally black. It's horrible. Like, why would they do that? But they fixed it, so it's awesome. When joining multiplayer games, you will not have that issue within inside the mini warp. You will not just go to a fringe universe in between universes. Looking at the situation that goes in past that, where we can go to the portions of the wrong loading systems that come into gameplay for as far as causing the multiplayers also to host on a opposite side of a portal. Also looking at the prevented players for redemption and the pre-order bonuses when installing the game and running in the background, involved alignment for the camera and for as far as interacting with the damages, fix the issues where the ships could dock in the space station and correctly collision. Oh man, like a good neighbor, No Man's Sky's there. Looking at the importing point of the collision doors for the bases, making the markings them way easier than what we used to be able to walk through. The fixed issues also continue in the preventative base decals. They also go down to the multiple missions and notifications, on top of the tutorial notifications and the constant flicker of that on the new screen of the new game. For as far as what ends up happening for the rare issues that could sometimes inactivate the missions and the progress in the multi-tool scanner, as well as the incorrect text that was on the NPC. So everyone, that is pretty much it for as far as today's patch. And I know it's going to be like, it says 3.11 on PlayStation, but that's probably just because they just kind of patched it over and that was their pre-patch and they haven't really loaded directly on top of there. But if they somehow change that list, I'll link it right down below. If you're new to the network, you can always like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys and gals in the near future. And who knows, maybe if you subscribe today, Sean Murray will just send me a freaking spaceship. Because he's that kind of cool guy. He just continues to work hardcore and give people spaceships. I don't know about the spaceship thing, but if he does, then I'll talk about it. So you should subscribe. And I'll see you guys and gals in the near future. Stay safe, stay classy, and I'll see you there.